This may not be the biggest Paralives update for you, but it's definitely going to be the biggest for me. It's been a minute since I've talked about Paralives, and since I last talked about Paralives on this channel, we have received so many updates from the team. So we're going to just dive into all of these things here today in one video for you guys. You probably know most of this information if you've been following them on social media or if you follow their YouTube channel, but they've been releasing brand new screenshots, new pictures, new videos, and new blog posts. The first one coming from today, just 2 hours ago. Shout out to the most common plastic chair in the world, now in Paralives. So more sneak peeks of the game. I feel like in some form or another, we all had this plastic chair on our patios growing up, because I know I did. In fact, when I lived in the city and I had just spent an hour or more shoveling my parking spot after a snowstorm, this was the chair that I would place to make sure nobody took the parking spot that I just shoveled. This exact chair, except I had these in the green color swatch variant. Well, the Paralives team also confirms here that there is even a matching plastic table to go along with this chair as well. All right, so this is something I've been wanting to get into for a minute now. This was posted on April 12th. I have still not heard it yet. I wanted to react to it here with you guys today. Here's the start of Farewell Froggy, in case you missed last week's showcase of some early Paralives music tracks. This is huge. We've seen this picture before. This is in one of their latest reveals, but the music is going to play a major part in this life simulation game. Those of us that are going to spend hours creating paras or decorating, furnishing, or building, if you have the music on in the settings, are going to hear some of the originals that they have created for their game, and this is one of them. Oh my gosh, it like warms my heart on the inside. I don't know, there's just something about this game and what we know so far with what we've seen, the screenshots, the images, all of the teasers, and first looks. It just feels so comfy and at home. Like, it just feels like a giant hug from your grandparents. That's definitely the vibe this game has been giving off so far. Yeah, I'm gonna get lost in this one. Obviously, we know that Life by You is coming as well, but from what we've seen so far with that's giving completely different vibes than this game is giving here. It's just a completely different atmosphere. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but I think it's awesome that we're going to have many different life simulation games. The Sims 4, Paralives, Project Renee, Life by You, they're all going to give different vibes and different experiences and most likely be tailored to different kinds of players. So I'm just excited to see where this goes, you know? Wow, so that was a little teaser. I believe they have a longer clip on their YouTube channel if you wanted to check that out. They also have a Patreon post showing a sneak peek of our composer's hard work. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on here. Lots of different layers, lots of different instruments.
As you might know, this past year and a half, we've established a lot of things concerning the audio direction in Paralives. We made many music exploration demos, tested different sound approaches for Foley, ambience, UI sounds, and many more little secrets. As a matter of fact, these past few weeks, we've been brainstorming the details on how our parafolks will actually speak and communicate with each other. More to come in the future relieved face.
Whoa, I was not expecting a hint at that here. This Paralives post was made public, obviously as I'm reading it now, but it was originally posted February 3rd. More details on how our parafolks will actually speak and communicate with each other. More to come in the future. Oh, it's going to be an exciting year for Paralives news. They're going to be revealing a lot to us. I cannot wait to see exactly what they mean here.
At this point in the development, we are pretty much done with brainstorming our music direction, so we wanted to show you all what we decided to go for in the build mode specifically. I'm going to go into the specifics of our core vision for the music, how we got to the end result, our plan to produce the rest of the tracks, and how the music actually interacts with the game.
Whoa, wait a minute, there's more here. So Farewell Froggy is in this clip beginning at 0 minutes and 0 seconds, but then they say at 3 minutes and 26 seconds, there is a 4 a.m. track sample showcasing the day and night cycle music transition. So there's music transitions for day and night. Hold on, I need to see exactly what this is about. Let me put this on. I'm gonna put the audio down and we're going to scrub to, let's do 3 minutes and 10 seconds, just slightly before whenever this happens, because I want to see what this is about. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. This has that like feeling, like the music tugs on your heartstrings. It has so much feeling and emotion and power to it. Oh my gosh, it got so ambient when the day turned into night in the game. You guys, this game is going to be amazing. There's just so much coming with life simulation. Like first here with Paralives and then now with Life by You. Like there's so much happening and I'm honestly rooting for all the games. Like it's gonna be fun to have so many different options for life simulation. But I gotta say, guys, I'm liking what I'm hearing with Paralives more than what I like with The Sims music. I love The Sims music, more specifically the older titles like Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3. They're definitely my favorites, and I think it's because of nostalgia. But the way that this sounds, it has that opportunity and it has that sound to become nostalgic. Like it feels like it could be something nostalgic years down the line when you're listening back, you know? It just feels so comfy, so cozy and at home. Again, like a big hug from your grandparents.
Our main vision for the music in the build mode was to do something catchy, easily identifiable while not too distracting, and avoid being annoying through repetition. The music should evoke a sense of spaciousness to reflect all the possibilities in the build mode and inspire the player to come up with fresh new ideas.
It literally does. When I was listening to it, I literally wanted to just go in the game and play. It absolutely does exactly what they're describing here.
All of that while fitting the cozy mood we want to give to the game. That sounds pretty simple, right? Well, grinning face with sweat, it took up until the 44th demo to find something that would really bring all this criteria to the next level. In that last demo titled Unconventional, I wanted to take an instrument, in this case my acoustic guitar, and play it in as many ways as possible and combine all the layers together in an unconventional manner. The result was pretty cool. After reviewing all the demos created, we decided to combine this 44th demo with another demo called Paradigma that featured more ambient, spacious, soft elements.
Literally my favorite aspects of music. I love atmospheric, ambient, spacious music. So hearing that was like just so perfect for me. Like, oh my gosh, we're probably still so many years away from this game, guys, and I'm just so excited. Like, I want this now. I want it now, and I know that we probably have to wait so many years for this. Honestly, I really hope that they put the soundtrack on streaming services just to like play as background music. Like, this is the kind of music that I like to lay down at night and wind down to before I head to bed. You know, stuff that doesn't have lyrics, stuff that's ambient and atmospheric, and this would perfectly fit that scenario, at least for me.
The end result were tracks just like Farewell Froggy and 4 AM as featured in the video above. Both these tracks feature a main riff as the core of the song and have similar instruments such as electronic hi-hats, soft pads, and various acoustic instruments. And voila, that's pretty much how we got to the build mode musical direction. Here's a screenshot of the many layers that comprise the track Farewell Froggy. How it works in the game. The cool part about the music inside the build mode is that each track will have two different versions, one for daytime and another one for nighttime. As the player switches time of day, the track versions will switch too to fit the different mood. So, going back to what I said earlier, the day versions feature mainly acoustic instruments, and therefore the night alternative versions feature their electronic counterpart. So technically the instrumentation and arrangement between both versions is, most of the time, exactly the same, which allows them to transition smoothly. We had brainstormed many more ways to make the music interactive, more versions, divide it by layers. However, we concluded that either they were not a fit for the build mode or they were too ambitious time-wise to do for the base game. Which leads me to my next topic: how we'll do the rest. Our production plan is pretty simple. In order to produce a build mode track, we have to make 3 different 1-minute demos first. Once completed, we'll choose our favorite and leave the other 2 for consideration later in development. I'll then polish and extend the demo up to 3 to 4 minutes and make an early mix to implement it in the game. The alternative version of the track will be produced later in the development. Once we attain the number of build mode tracks we aim for, we will go into some post-prod polishing and maybe even do more tracks. So there you have it. So far that has been our work with the music of the build mode. There's so much more I'd love to show you, such as the music in the Paramaker and other game modes, which I won't mention winking face, so those ones will have to be for another time. Thank you all for your support, and I hope you enjoyed today's post.
Wow, you guys, there's a lot going into this. I love these little Patreon deep dives that they do, and we know what they're sharing with us as things are happening. I am just blown away by that transition. There's going to be daytime and night versions of all the tracks, and as you shift times, it's going to give you a completely different vibe, a completely different feel, but it still be the same song. So you're still getting different variations of that song. That is just going to completely change building or furnishing, decorating, whatever you may be doing in Paralives. Like, wow, I'm blown away and I'm so excited, and I'm kind of salty that it's probably going to be a few years until this comes out because I want it now more than ever. I don't want to spend too much time on this, guys, because there's so much more Paralives news I have to get to in this video, so we're just gonna move along to the next thing. But share all of your comments on what you think of all this down below, but I'm blown away. So that was the whole segment for the music and for the soundtrack. We now even have a new image, more on food, guys. Find out about our process in this now public Patreon post. So food items in the making, guys. Okay, I don't want to like compare everything to The Sims, but it's the only life simulation game that we have right now. So I feel like these kinds of comparisons are going to be made. And I don't mean it in like a malicious kind of way, but like, I'm sorry, this already looks better than the food we have in The Sims. Look at the details on these sandwiches. Like, you can actually differentiate all of the layers of this sandwich, whereas in The Sims, it would just kind of be one thing meshed together. It would just look like a giant glob of food, you know? You can actually see everything that's going on here, and it's just gonna enhance the game. It's gonna make it feel more alive. Look at the strawberries in the middle of the cake. Like, it's so well done. There's even details inside the drinks, guys. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just open up this Patreon post and we're gonna get more into food right now. You guys already know I'm so excited to jump into this here.
Bringing food to our Parafolks plates. Hello everyone, Leah and Chloe here. We have been working on something exciting behind the scenes. While we have already tackled the overall environments and vegetation's art styles, there was still something we had yet to test out: food. We had a lot of fun working on it, so we are excited to show our work to you all today. For the past few weeks, we have been defining the style for our food. We selected a few meals in order to test out a few things. We needed to first see how we could make the assets look tasty with the limited resolution we have available.
Limited?
But we also had to see how we would be representing different food textures.
They're talking about having limited resolution when I think this is the best food has ever looked in a life simulator. I'm sorry. Can we also talk about just the art style in general of this game? It looks more and more polished than it ever has before. Every time we get a new update, we get a new look at this game, it looks better and better and better. Seriously.
This family couldn't decide what to eat for dinner, so they all cooked different meals. We decided to try creating a Japanese curry dish to test how we would draw rice and thick stew-like textures. Making the rice readable from a distance and not look like a white ball was quite tricky. No pain, no grain.
That's funny.
Creating ramen was a must-have for us. A lot of team members really enjoy ramen. We got to see how we can draw noodles soaked in broth and meat slices. Yummy. When in doubt, just put sauce on spaghettis. The possibilities are endless. This plate needed a complex hand-drawn texture, but thankfully we're going to be able to reuse it for different pasta recipes.
The possibilities. Okay, let's just move on. This is what I was talking about. Look at the layers on this sandwich. You can see everything here. Everything here. If you go and you pull up a picture of a sandwich in The Sims 4, it is not going to look this good. I don't even have the picture pulled up, and I can say that with confidence.
A good old club sandwich was a great way to see how we could make a triangle interesting. We wanted our sandwich to be imperfect, thick, and appetizing. Many sandwiches have been eaten during this test, for research purposes, of course.
Oh yeah, so they're definitely inspired by real food. Lots of real food models that they're probably basing what they're creating off of, but you can definitely see the imperfections with these sandwiches. Like, for example, look at this top piece of bread. It isn't flat, it's like arched, like a house roof a little bit. And that's exactly what would happen because the middle of the sandwich is usually the thickest part and the ends are the thinnest part. So it's gonna go like this and not like that, So things like that seem to be implemented, which I love.
After eating a heavy meal, what's better than some healthy fruits? This fruit bowl may end up being more decorative than an actual food item in the game, but it helped outline how different fruits should look like in meals for the future.
And they look good.
A French romantic date out in the garden. We even thought about the fizzy expensive drink. Like with the club sandwich, we didn't want the cake slices to just be sharp triangles, so we instead opted for a more organic feel with some slight imperfections. Some dream of cake, others bake it happen. That is all for today. We hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek and that it didn't get you too hungry. We are looking forward to creating more meals sometime down the line, since we had a blast creating the food we showcased today. What other food would you like in the game?
Okay, they said bubbly fizzy drink. Is this champagne? Is this supposed to be champagne? Look at the bubbles. Come on, that looks good. That looks really good. They did a great job on this. The strawberries in the cake, the detailing and the textures of the cake. The quality of this looks really good. They're like blowing me away. Blowing me away. All right, I think we have 2 more Patreon posts, guys. I have a lot to catch up on, okay? If I'm being fully honest and transparent with you guys, if you've watched this far into the video, because I'm sure this is probably gonna be a 35 to 45 minute video, I'm sure, I have not been doing well the past couple of weeks. I feel like when a new pack comes out and things slow down, I tend to slip into some very unhealthy, unproductive patterns, and it becomes harder for me to get out of bed and do things and make videos and want to just live and function. So I am just behind on everything. I haven't been paying attention to the news. I am just so behind. So I'm trying to get into the swing of things and catch up now. So that's why this video is so long, and that's why it has most of what you probably already know if you follow Paralives on social media. But if you didn't know about any of these things, I also appreciate you being here and checking this news out with me, because this is my first time reacting to all of this. We have floor plan showcases as well. Well, this happened at the end of March, right around the release of The Sims 4 Growing Together.
Alex here to share an inside look at what we have been doing this week and also to share an exclusive look at interesting floor plans that I created in the game. To start off the year, we organized an internal playtest. Each and every team member sat down to play the game for a few hours. The goal was to discuss how we feel about the current state of the game. This allowed us to write down a lot of possible small improvements and tweaks to different existing game features, many of which we have already done this week. The playtest was also a great opportunity for our newest team members, Richard and Alejandro, to discover the game for the first time.
So they have even more team members now, guys. Richard and Alejandro. Also, they mention here they sat down to do a playtest of the game for a few hours. So now I'm thinking, what kind of state is this game in that they can just sit and playtest it? Is this a lot farther along than we think? I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to make assumptions. I'm just very impatient and I just want this game like now at this point. All right, let's keep going.
Usually, when we develop new features and content, we focus on testing only the newly added elements. This internal playtest was an occasion to take a step back and notice how we feel as players when we play Paralives. Overall, it was great for us to realize all the work we have put into the game so far. Seeing everything coming together is really satisfying, and it made me a bit emotional. We still have a lot of work to do, but we can't wait for you to experience Paralives when it's ready.
Me either, I'm ready.
We gathered 12 pages of feedback from playing the game last week. A lot of them were small tweaks though. The suggested changes that are highlighted in yellow have already been done since then.
And they're not showing it. Everything's blurred out. Oh, they're hyping us up so much, but you know this game's gonna be good.
A while back, I shared with you 3 floor plans that I had built in Paralives. I thought it would be great to showcase new ones that I have just created. To start off, our first floor plan is our most spacious one. It has 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms, wardrobe included. On the left where Sebastian is standing, we have a huge living room area, and on the bottom right, there's a well-lit open kitchen and dining room combo. However, the interior courtyard is the most notable feature of this house, which I'm sure every member of the family will enjoy.
I love house plans like that. I love that. Perfect area to have a tree, or perfect area to have an outdoor patio, or even some sort of garden if you wish, right in the middle of the house. And it's ideal because if you have a garden, you don't have to worry about creatures and pests getting in there because it's pretty much fully enclosed. Only things that can fly can get in there, like birds, you know? Love this layout.
The high ceiling apartment. Next, we have a somewhat simple apartment, but the high ceilings and the tall windows will seduce a lot of parafolks. The open floor plan is great for parties and has 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom.
Yeah, I like that one.
The experimental curved house. Last but not least, the perfect floor plan to showcase Paralives' curved wall tool. A great place for creative parafolks who are looking for something less conventional. Please tell us which of these 3 floor plans is your favorite in the poll below. You can also tell us why in the comment section.
Oh, that's gonna be hard. I would definitely like to vote, but I don't even know which one I would vote for because honestly, I love them all. I do like the open floor plan. I feel like this is really common with apartments. Honestly, it's how my house is laid out. I have a 1-bedroom townhouse, so that's very familiar to me. But honestly, I think my favorite would probably have to be the curved wall one. It's just the most unique. Like, look at some of these shapes. We're coming down to the last few things that I still have not really gotten into, but we have bug of the week. Oh gosh, when parrots try to shake hands without facing each other, it doesn't always work out. I think it's funny how the animation still plays for the interaction even if you aren't fully set up for it. Like, we know in The Sims, when they're going in for an interaction, before it animates, both of the Sims will do what they need to do to align themselves to be directly in front of each other, then they stop, and then the animation plays. But it looks like here, regardless of what's going on or where they are, the animation still plays. I think this is funny. And this is the last thing that I have not yet covered. This is about ethnicities. So let's dive into this final blog post. For this video, we're getting another look at parrots. I'm sure you guys have already seen this, but this is my first time seeing and reacting to this.
Hello everyone, Leah here for the last Patreon post of 2022. The team will take a break for the next 2 weeks and we will be back with our weekly Patreon posts on January 6th. Sonia and I are really excited to be able to show you the result of our latest tests. We already had a sample of different ethnicities with our existing parafolks, but we wanted to add physical traits for new ones. This post showcases the result of our tests on recreating different ethnicities in the Paramaker. Warning: these parafolks are anonymous. They were created for the sole purpose of carrying out our tests.
So they have no names or no identities, I guess.
Keep in mind that this is a work in progress. Sonia and I are still currently working on the Paramaker, and the content we are showcasing today is very likely to change and to improve during the large-scale asset production for the game.
And here I am already thinking that these look amazing, and they're just going to continue to improve. How awesome is that?
This parafolk's focus was on the eyes and nose, for which we added new textures and sliders. For this parafolk, we focused a lot on the eyes and cheekbones area with new textures and sliders to achieve this result. Here, we aimed for an older parafolk using our wrinkle textures. We also reworked the sliders for the face depth, cheeks, and jawline. Finally, we know how much hairstyles are a huge part of our identities, and that's why I worked on creating believable coily hair, while respecting our artistic direction. The parafolks will be able to proudly wear their natural hair and look fabulous. A cute parafolk with a dark skin tone and luxurious coily hair.
Wow.
Some of the possible color variations for the new hairstyle.
Oh my gosh.
In the future, we plan on adding more and more Paramaker content, the goal being that most players can recreate themselves and their families in the game. We honestly can't wait to show you what we are preparing for 2023. The Paralives team wishes you all a beautiful new year, full of happiness, positive energy, health, and love. Take care and happy holidays.
This is how The Sims 4 should have launched. Like, The Sims 4 was such a joke at first. I can't believe it took so long for us to get the skin tone update that we have, and also just for them to represent these hairstyles the way that they have. Like, this is how a base game should be launching. Like, I think this looks really, really good. Look at these color variants. Oh my gosh. And it definitely fully matches the art style of the game too. The wrinkles on this para, oh my gosh. Yeah, this looks really good. I'm so excited, guys. That's all that I have for you here. There was a lot, but I wanted to get it all done in one video in case you haven't seen all of this, or maybe you just wanted to watch it again and watch my reaction. Share your thoughts below of everything we talked about today, various ethnicities, the food, the look at the brand new chair, floor plans, and more. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Happy simming, and of course, happy paraliving. Bye everyone.